क्या आपने कभी सोचा है कि एक क्रिएटिव शुरुआत कैसे एक बड़ा B2B ब्रांड बिल्डिंग माइंडसेट बनाता है?
फ्रीलांसिंग करते हुए आई वेंट टू वन क्लाइंट एंड वहां पर एक्चुअली आई वाज पिचिंग माय डिजाइन सर्विस एंड द क्लाइंट सेड डू यू वांट टू बी द हेड ऑफ माय डिपार्टमेंट बट आई डोंट हैव एजुकेशनल एक्सपीरियंस इन डिजाइन। आई सेड मुझे डिजाइन सीखना है। आई रियलाइज आई डोंट वांट टू लर्न विद अ प्योरली इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट।
ऐसा क्यों?
डिजाइन विदाउट कंटेंट इज जीरो।
Our guest today is Mansi Rastogi, founding partner at 9 Point Design. Since 2008, she built 400 plus brands from Apcotex to Asia Pacific, जिसको हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री ने भी अटेंड किया था. And worked with Tata AIA, Mahindra Finance, McDonald, Cadbury and more.
आपके करियर में सबसे चैलेंजिंग प्रोजेक्ट कौन सा आपने हैंडल किया?
आज हम मानसी से B2B ब्रांड बिल्डिंग के बारे में जानेंगे.
तो कुछ ब्रांड्स दुनिया में बहुत सारे सक्सेसफुल होते हैं और कुछ फेल हो जाते हैं. आपकी सबसे जो ब्रांड्स फेल होते हैं उसका मेजर रीज़न क्या है? तो लग्जरी ब्रांड का साइकोलॉजी क्या होता है? एज अ ब्रांड स्ट्रेटेजिस्ट क्या MBA करना ज़रूरी है? जो चीज़ देखते हैं उसी को लोग ब्रांडिंग समझ लेते हैं. एक्चुअली ब्रांडिंग एट व्हाट पॉइंट यू फील कि आप एक डिज़ाइनर नहीं हो, यू आर अ ब्रांड स्ट्रेटेजिस्ट?
बहुत टाइम हो गया डिजाइन करके।
इस एपिसोड में आपको वह सब कुछ मिलेगा जो B2B ब्रांड बिल्डिंग के लिए ज़रूरी है.
तो आपने कोई ऐसा वर्स्ट रीब्रांडिंग देखा है? आपको लगता है कि ये बहुत उन्होंने सबसे बड़ा मिस्टेक कर दिया? जितने भी यंग क्रिएटर्स होते हैं जो ब्रांड बिल्ड करना स्टार्ट करते हैं और वो ब्रांडिंग को लेकर जल्दी गिव अप कर देते हैं, इवन बिजनेस को लेकर गिव अप कर देते हैं.
ब्रांडिंग इज लाइक रनिंग अ मैराथन, मार्केटिंग इज लाइक रनिंग स्प्रिंट्स 100 मीटर्स।
व्हेन यू वर चाइल्ड, उसको अगर आपको एक एडवाइस देने का मौका मिले, आप क्या देंगे? वेलकम मानसी.
थैंक यू।
सो आप B2B ब्रांड्स के लिए काम करते हो, फॉर ब्रांड बिल्डिंग, राइट?
यस।
हम लोग उस टॉपिक के अंदर डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे, बट उसके पहले हम लोग आपकी जर्नी के बारे में थोड़ा जानना चाहेंगे.
So for that I'll have to go back a little bit, all the way up to my childhood. Because I have been surrounded by my mom and my aunt and my grandmother. These are the people who have been very creative throughout my childhood. Before I started with design or I started with branding, I had a very creative working environment that I was in. My mom would sit and do arts and crafts with me. She's an artist. So all of that sort of added to कि okay design करना है, उसमें इंटरेस्ट यहाँ से आया. तो आर्ट्स, पेंटिंग और ये सब चीजें, क्राफ्ट्स,
मतलब खून में था.
लिटरली खून में था. And I was one of the first few people, जब I have done design on the first few computers, जब DOS systems होते थे, you had a prompt and you had to write things. So वहाँ से हम लोगों ने शुरू किया. When I was in my 10th standard, first time computers इस world में आए. From there I started to then doing design on Corel Draw and things like that.
Okay.
वहाँ से it went into branding.
लगभग कौन सा ईयर था ये?
स्कूल का होगा. So oh God, now I don't even remember, but maybe 1994 or 93, something like that. So from the school times to when I started to do design on Corel Draw, that was the first time. College में पहले जब software आया, Corel Draw 5 or something like that came in first time. और college में भी I did my BA in economics. कुछ interest नहीं था, backbencher student is what I was. No interest in economics as such, but I was interested in design. So I joined a course जहाँ पर they would teach you software. So जैसे Photoshop है, Corel Draw है, all of these things. घंटों बैठ के वहाँ पर I चिपकी रहती थी उस कंप्यूटर के सामने. My teacher, the one who was teaching me, he came in and he said, do you want to teach? Because he saw कि next to me there were people, I was helping them out. यहाँ देखो इसको आ नहीं रहा है, अरे ये करना. वहाँ पर देखो इसको आ नहीं रहा है, अरे ये करना. So he saw me doing that and he said, okay, do you want to teach? And I said, मुझे कुछ नहीं आता टीचिंग के बारे में. This is again like after college, so it must have been in 2000, 1999. Right. 6 months के लिए he said, I will train you and you teach.
Understood.
So that's where my first job, जहाँ पर I got 3,000 rupees a month. That is where my journey actually started with. Right. Because he said ऐसे करना. So then I would get into the software completely and say, okay, and there is something in Photoshop which is called blending modes. तो ब्लेंडिंग मोड्स का इफेक्ट, बिफोर यू यूज द ब्लेंडिंग मोड, व्हाट इज द इफेक्ट, ये पिक्सल और का कलर और इसका कलर का कॉम्बिनेशन क्या देगा, दैट इज व्हाट आई अंडरस्टूड फ्रॉम इट. तो ही वुड क्विज अस ऑन इट एंड चलते फिरते ही वुड आस्क इसका और इसका ब्लेंडिंग मोड का कॉम्बिनेशन कैसे होगा. I mean, I got really good at that. And वहाँ से then I said, okay, अभी काफ़ी हो गया लोगों को सिखाना. I want to learn. So I started doing a job at web design company.
Okay.
Because web design was coming up at that time. From there, I wanted to learn something new. So I joined a print company.
Okay.
I also worked as an intern in a video editing firm, rather production unit. Ronnie Screwwala, that production unit that was there, I worked there as an intern. Did my night shifts over there and things like that. वो environment मुझे इतना अच्छा नहीं लगा, but I enjoyed the 3D और वो सब when they used to do commercials में 3D and things like that. There were some very brilliant people working there, so I learned some things over there. फिर उसके बाद when I decided okay, now it's time कि अभी मैंने इतने सारे internships किए हैं, now I need to do a little bit of freelancing on my own. तो I said okay, let's start with that. Freelancing करते हुए I went to one client and वहाँ पर actually I was pitching my design service. And the client said, do you want to be the head of my department?
Oh, nice.
And first time in my life, I've managed people. This is way back in like, I think 2002 or something like that, 1 or 2. And I said, you want me to manage people? I said, I've never done that before. She said, it doesn't matter. So, ठीक है, okay, चलो, वो भी try कर लेते हैं. So, I actually had a team of 4 or 5 people. I hired some of them where I was managing the media department.
Oh, nice.
It was a software company. So, we used to manage everything that went out in terms of brand and media and things like that. Up to now, I had been just going through life, जो आ रहा है वो ले लो. I said, okay, now there is time for me to actually plan out, right? मुझे सब practical experience है. I have experience in doing things as I'm going and doing them. But I don't have educational experience in design.
Right.
So software से शुरू किया था, right? So I said, मुझे design सीखना है. I realized I don't want to learn with a purely Indian institute. And the reason being, I wanted exposure. मुझे exposure, international exposure चाहिए था. So in 2004, I started to search. और इंडिया के बाहर जाने के लिए पैसे नहीं थे. So I said, okay, अभी मैनेज कैसे करेंगे? By then I had earned a certain amount of money. I said, okay, इंडिया के बाहर तो जा नहीं सकते, तो यहाँ पर ही मुझे इंटरनेशनल एक्सपोजर कैसे मिले? So I did some research and I found out that there was Singapore-based design school, which was coming out in Bandra. It was their second year of being here. They had teachers from Canada, they had teachers from Spain, Colombia, and various other places like New York and things like that, and Indian teachers as well. So I got a full exposure of all of those. Because I didn't have the money to go into that school, I mean, the fees at that time, way back in 2004, was 8 lakhs. 2 साल के लिए you had to pay 8 lakhs, which was a lot of money.
That's a huge amount.
But my grandmother has always been someone who is very fond of education. So she used to always promote education कि हाँ सीखना चाहिए. So she said, I can't give you full 8 lakhs because उतना नहीं है मेरे पास. But I will give you the first 1 lakh to get you started. उसके बाद it's up to you. So I quit my job.
Okay.
क्योंकि जॉब करके मैं स्कूल नहीं कर सकती थी.
Right.
And I actually went back to design school and I started to freelance along with school.
Okay.
क्योंकि मेरा freelance का already base बना हुआ था. It's just that because I was in a job, I was not doing freelancing. वो मैंने renew किए contacts and I started to freelance while I was doing design school. So I would be like designing during the day, मतलब doing school work during the day and then come back home and do client work.
Nice.
Yeah.
So struggle period वहाँ पर चालू हुआ.
पर मजा भी आया उतना because उतनी energy थी and the best part about this was that I was the oldest in my class.
Oh, nice.
So I was 26 or 7 years old and all the other students were 18, 17, मतलब अमीर बाप के बच्चे types. And they were enjoying their life and here I was like मुझे दोनों चीजें करनी है. मजा भी आया पर at the same time there was a bit of a tussle. स्कूल वर्क भी कंप्लीट करना है, ये भी करना है.
वहाँ पर आपको फॉरेन मेंटर्स के साथ में सीखने का मौका मिला. तो आपके माइंडसेट में क्या चेंजेस आया उससे?
So I'll give you this with an example. You know, आर्ट स्कूल में आपको स्टिल लाइफ पेंटिंग करने के लिए बोलते हैं. So they'll put objects, उसका स्टिल लाइफ पेंटिंग करो. The teacher that I had, my most favorite teacher was this French Canadian professor. And he made us all sit in a circle like that. And he made us all do that painting. At the end of it, he did not criticize a single painting that came out. Okay. he told us how to see the painting with the eye of the observer, the person who had seen it. For the first time in my life, like I have been scolded by Indian teachers a lot of times, मतलब school में ये बराबर नहीं है, ये ऐसे नहीं करना, वो वैसे नहीं करना. He didn't do that. What he did was he said, देखो इसका observation level क्या है, और corrections दिए, but he just praised a lot more and asked us to observe how the other person was observing. And that was one of my biggest learnings with foreign mentors. They are very, very open-minded. Extremely open-minded to their environment. They're extremely open-minded to ideas that you're giving them. कोई बड़ा नहीं है, कोई छोटा नहीं है. There is always this openness that in conversation also. If you don't, they appreciate. If they disagree with you, they will tell you they disagree with you. But there's no tussle. There is no, I am professor, you are student.
Yeah.
So that was one of the biggest eye openers. Also that the way that they taught was very different. चाबुक लेके नहीं बैठते थे. You know, they would give you options like an adult. So that was also another big learning. I think that I use the same thing in my agency with my team. चाबुक लेके नहीं बैठती हूँ. मैं बोलती हूँ ये आपका ऑप्शन 1 है, ये आपका ऑप्शन 2 है. आप दोनों में से कोई एक चूज करो.
ब्रांड स्ट्रेटेजी एंड मार्केटिंग का जो ये कॉन्सेप्ट उस टाइम पे था, फ्रीलांसिंग जर्नी से आपने इसमें कैसे स्विच किया?
When I was doing my freelancing bit, I realized कि there are some places where I'm lacking. मुझे डिज़ाइन आता है, अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द क्लाइंट आता है, क्लाइंट को क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव चाहिए वो आता है, मुझे लिखना नहीं आता. डिज़ाइन विदाउट कंटेंट इज जीरो. इफ योर कंटेंट इज नॉट गुड, योर डिज़ाइन कैन डू एनीथिंग. इफ योर डिज़ाइन इज नॉट गुड, योर कंटेंट विल आल्सो फॉल फ्लैट. तो मेरा जर्नी वहाँ से शुरू हुआ फॉर ब्रांड स्ट्रैटेजी. जैसे ही मुझे समझ में आया कंटेंट इज अ बिग पीस, आई स्टार्टेड टू लर्न दैट एंड देन आई रियलाइज कि डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर मेरे हाथ में नहीं है, कंटेंट पर्सन के हाथ में नहीं है. डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर वो एमडी या सीईओ के हाथ में है जो देख रहा है और बोल रहा है मुझे ब्रांड एनहांस करनी है. इफ द डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर इज देयर एंड ही इज ब्रिंगिंग मी इन बिकॉज ही इज नॉट दैट नॉलेजेबल, दैट मीन्स आई शुड बी एडिंग वैल्यू देयर एट दैट स्टेज, नॉट एट द स्टेज ऑफ डिजाइन और कॉन्टेंट.
राइट.
So that's where the strategy part came in, because I said कि वो impact जो मुझे चाहिए वो छोटी जगह पे आ रहा है, बड़ी जगह पे नहीं आ रहा. Therefore I went into brand strategy, and the weird part was that there was this person who told me कि you can actually do brand strategy. और मुझे at that time I did not realize that I could.
Who was that person?
So there was someone who was a brand strategist who I was working with. Initially to understand strategy I was working with her, and she looks at me one day and she said कि आप भी कर सकते हो.
So वो आप उस टाइम पे जॉब के टाइम पर या फिर आप
freelancing के टाइम पे.
So आपके करियर में सबसे चैलेंजिंग प्रोजेक्ट कौन सा आपने हैंडल किया?
चैलेंजिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स नहीं हुए हैं, चैलेंजिंग क्लाइंट्स हुए हैं.
Clients, yes.
But I will tell you in terms of scale, project challenging तब होता है जब आपको experience नहीं है. I think one of the biggest projects that we did in brand strategy, that was the first time that we were doing that big a project way back in 2012. To understand how to do that brand strategy, there was no one to guide us.
Understood.
इधर से उधर से I actually had to go and do my research. I had to find out. उस time besides Google there was nothing else.
Nothing else.
So you had to do legwork. मतलब 10 फोन कॉल किए, 10 बार लोगों को पूछा, went and asked various types of things. वहाँ से then it became that okay, you understood how strategy happens.
So उस टाइम पर आपने बताया कि जैसे गूगल के अलावा कुछ नहीं था, बट जो ब्रांडिंग एज अपन टर्म बात करते हैं, क्या उस टाइम पर वो वर्ड यूज होता था?
ब्रांडिंग वर्ड यूज होता था, बट इट वाज एज कंफ्यूज्ड एज इट इज टुडे.
ओके, मतलब थोड़ा डिटेल में बताएंगे.
I don't think even today people understand what branding is.
ऐसा क्यों?
Information बहुत है, but समझ में नहीं आता वो, because it's intangible. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. You don't know what it is. So they will call the logo a brand. They will call the messaging a brand. They will call the product a brand. Things that they can see, touch, feel, brand.
Right.
But that is not what branding actually is. I will give this with the example of a person. As a person, when you're looking at you, they will say, okay, Govind is like this. But at the end of the day, आपका जो personality है, full personality है, how you conduct yourself, that is what the brand actually is. How you talk, how you dress up, how you portray yourself, is your attitude towards people when you're interacting with them. All of this becomes a brand, right? It's the same thing with a company. Vision, mission कोई भी बोल देगा, but why they actually exist, what is the impact they want to make in this world, how do they deal with their vendors, how do they deal with their clients, how do they deal with their employees, all of this becomes a part of the brand.
So कुछ ब्रांड्स दुनिया में बहुत सारे सक्सेसफुल होते हैं और कुछ फेल हो जाते हैं, तो आपकी सबसे जो ब्रांड्स फेल होते हैं उसका मेजर रीजन क्या रहता है?
Most of the brands that have failed, I have seen that the leadership or the team who is actually taking care of the brand does not have vision. Long-term vision नहीं है उनको, or they are not able to move along with the times, change along with the times. I mean, you take the biggest brand like Kodak ले लो, Nokia ले लो.
BlackBerry is one example.
BlackBerry is another example. They did not move along with the times because the leadership did not have that vision to say, "Acha, this is coming. How do we adapt?"
Right.
Even how do we evolve as a brand? Today, if we dismiss AI and saying "iska kuch nahi hoga," then obviously as a brand you're going to fail because you know it's coming. It's like everywhere.
Right.
Okay, and you cannot avoid it. So you might as well work with it.
So लग्जरी ब्रांड का साइकोलॉजी क्या होता है? रोलेक्स जैसे ब्रांड स्कैसिटी को ब्रांडिंग एंड स्ट्रेटजी कैसे बना लेते हैं?
Luxury brands are very interesting for me because it is all made out of air. There isn't a lot of base to luxury brands. उनका बेस सालों से बना रहता है, जैसे 100 साल वो लोग इन्वेस्ट करेंगे ब्रांड में या 50 years वो लोग इन्वेस्ट करेंगे ब्रांड में, फिर उसके बाद वो लग्जरी ब्रांड बनते हैं. Okay, I'll give you Rolex का ही because you said Rolex as an example, right? So Rolex actually started out not as a luxury brand. Rolex was actually a guy who made a watch in a slightly innovative way. The way he started to position the brand after making a certain amount of sales, he started to position the brand in a way he would put it along with people who had a little bit of clout. So if one of the ways that you can position yourself is that you be with someone who is at a celebrity position, right? So that's what he did. So he made the waterproof watch first.
Okay.
And when he made the waterproof watch, the first thing he did was the swimmer who was the athlete at that time. He made him wear that watch and swim across the channel.
Oh.
That's how he positioned. So he found specific places jahan par he would be able to integrate the brand, and then it eventually became a luxury brand. Also, the other thing that luxury brands do is that they limit the production.
To create the scarcity.
हाँ, so it will not be like a Jio or an Amazon, right? Just selling a lot of things. They will limit to a limited edition. So थोड़ा सा design change करेंगे, limited edition बोलेंगे, and then they will put it across. Now the biggest example of this is the Batman edition of Mahindra.
Mahindra V. Yes. So actually public ही उसका marketing करता है.
Exactly.
Because of the demand and the supply.
Exactly. Yeah.
As a brand strategist क्या MBA करना जरूरी है?
Depends आपको जाना कहाँ है. अगर आपको जॉब करनी है तो MBA करना जरूरी है because प्रोग्रेस नहीं होगी. लेकिन if you really want to learn about brands and you want to be an owner of a brand and if you want to own an agency and things like that, no one in my life has ever asked me आपने MBA किया है क्या? उन्होंने बोला है आपका काम दिखाओ, आपके रिजल्ट्स दिखाओ, बट MBA किसी ने मुझे आज तक नहीं पूछा.
So आपने एक और पॉइंट बताया कि लोगों को ना ब्रांडिंग का आज भी है ना सही मतलब नहीं पता है. लोगो जो होता है उसी को, और ब्रोशर हो गया, जो चीज़ देखते हैं उसी को लोग ब्रांडिंग समझ लेते हैं. एक्चुअली ब्रांडिंग क्या है?
So let me give you an example with a runner. Branding is like running a marathon. Training उसका अलग रहता है, कोच अलग रहता है, the way that you look at it अलग रहता है, स्टैमिना अलग रहता है.
Right.
Marketing is like running sprints 100 meters. Branding is the base. मतलब अगर आपका base level strong हो तो आप दूर तक जा सकते हैं. लेकिन मार्केटिंग अभी नई चीज लेके you have to run along with that, right? So you're doing it in smaller sprints. One cannot work without the other. If brand is your base, to talk about the brand you need marketing.
Right.
Without marketing you can't talk about your brand. Without branding you can't talk about it at all.
बहुत सारे interconnected.
This is the voice and this is the microphone.
For the branding you should always have a long term vision.
Always. Because you're building the brand for many years. Like you're not building it for 1 year. You have to continuously, and it evolves. Just like people, as they grow, they evolve. The same way the brand also evolves. So every year you have to keep refreshing or at least re-looking at your brand, saying that where are we going, how are we doing things. Just like you do yearly reviews, it's the same thing for the brand. You do yearly brand reviews.
So at what point you feel कि आप एक designer नहीं हो, you are a brand strategist?
बहुत टाइम हो गया डिज़ाइन करके. I think I stopped being a designer when I had to explain to my team how to do the jobs. तो designer को जब मुझे बताना पड़ा कि okay, this is how you do it, this is how. When I'm training my team, I think I stopped becoming the designer and I become the mentor. And brand strategist part of it comes in when the clients come to me and say मेरी ये problem है, मैं solve कैसे करूँ. और वो सॉल्व करने के लिए उनको ऊपरी प्रॉब्लम दिखती है, मुझे डेप्थ दिख रहा है. सो फॉर एग्जांपल इफ अ क्लाइंट कम्स टू मी से हमारे लिंक्डइन मार्केटिंग नहीं चल रहा है या लिंक्डइन नहीं चल रहा है, सो देयर एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट लिंक्डइन, देयर एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम इज मैसेजिंग. उनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि कंटेंट क्या बनाएं. उनको ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा है या किसी और का देखा है, खुद का कंपटीशन का देखा है, और उनको लग रहा है कि हमें ऐसे करना चाहिए, पर हम लोग कॉपी कैसे करें, कॉपी तो नहीं कर सकते, तो कुछ अलग कैसे करें. सो दैट इज देयर ऊपरी प्रॉब्लम, बट एक्चुअल डेप्थ प्रॉब्लम इज ब्रांड का फाउंडेशन लेवल ही वीक है, बनाया ही नहीं है कभी. सो दैट इज द टाइम व्हेन आई स्टार्ट टू सी द डिफरेंस बिटवीन स्ट्रैटेजी, बिकॉज स्ट्रैटेजी इज मोर अबाउट थिंकिंग अबाउट हाउ यू वांट टू शोकेस योरसेल्फ, हु यू आर एज अ पर्सन और एज अ ब्रांड, or who you are as a company, what do you stand for. Those are the base levels that you need to get clear. Uske baad then the messaging and your marketing and everything else gets layered on top of that.
So B2B स्पेस में आप जब किसी क्लाइंट के साथ में काम शुरू करते हैं तो आपका अप्रोच क्या होता है ब्रांडिंग को लेकर?
So B2B clients are a little different from B2C. उनका मेन प्रॉब्लम ये रहता है कि उनको समझ में नहीं आता है कि ब्रांडिंग की जरूरत क्या है. उनके लिए धंधा हो रहा है, मतलब इट्स डन. When do they come to us is when the thinking actually starts. They come to us when they start to realize कि competition है, they are going ahead of us.
Yes.
या we are going global now. और हमारी ब्रांड इज नॉट लुकिंग लाइक द अदर्स.
राइट.
हमारी ब्रांड कम दिख रही है, हमें प्राइसेस कम मिल रहे हैं, हमें नेगोशिएशन ज़्यादा करना पड़ रहा है. दैट इज द टाइम दे कम टू अस सेइंग हमारी ब्रांडिंग नहीं हुई है.
सो मतलब जहाँ पर नेगोशिएशन आ जाता है, प्राइस कंपेयर होने लग जाता है, वहाँ पर एक B2B फाउंडर को अपने ब्रांड पोजिशनिंग के ऊपर एक बार थॉट डालना है.
Yeah. So the moment you're haggling on price, the moment your client cannot see the difference between you and another brand, and you're having to fight for that sale, that is the time you start to realize कि मेरा ब्रांड नहीं काम कर रहा है मेरे लिए.
So आपने ये पॉइंट बहुत अच्छा बताया कि अगर बिजनेस में सेल्स आ रही है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपकी ब्रांडिंग काम कर रही है, बट आपकी सेल्स टीम अच्छा काम कर रही है.
हाँ, exactly. So if your sales team is very good, that's good for you.
Yes, that's
लेकिन
good.
अगर आपकी ब्रांड टीम आपकी सेल्स टीम को बढ़ा सकती है, if they can give them more ammunition, if they can give them more tools, they can make the sale easier. That's the job of the brand. So that's the major difference between being a commodity and being a branded business, right? So a commodity will sell like a commodity. इसमें और इसमें सिर्फ प्राइस डिफरेंस ही क्लाइंट को पता चलेगा.
So you explained B2B और B2C दोनों का ब्रांडिंग में डिफरेंस होता है. क्या डिफरेंस होता है?
So B2C में there is one consumer. You're targeting that consumer. It's very clear and it's very easy to get data. B2B is not like that. B2B में you have multiple levels of approvals.
Right.
If you're selling something, जैसे एक बंदा है वो केमिकल बेच रहा है, if he's selling chemical to another this thing, he has to do 2-3 things. तो एक तो वो परचेज मैनेजर से बात करेगा, फिर उसके ऊपर का इन्फ्लुएंसर जो रहेगा वो कोई और रहेगा, फिर उसके ऊपर का कोई इन्फ्लुएंसर रहेगा वो कोई और रहेगा. सो देयर आर मल्टीपल लेवल जहाँ से अप्रूवल आता है, बिकॉज क्वांटिटीज आर लार्ज. It's not a purchase that is happening ad hoc. It's a purchase that's happening very decision-driven purchase. So they are comparing things and then they're coming to you because it's all about business. It's not personal.
So why you are very specific for B2B, not for B2C?
Because they are the underdog. So I noticed long time ago कि all agencies were running after B2C because it's exciting, sexy है काम.
There is one more concept, D2C.
D2C, yeah.
So D2C and B2C both are almost
similar. Yeah, in terms of branding, I've not seen too much difference. But B2B is very different because it's mostly on the relationships that you're building. Brand will take you so much. After that, it's relationship building with the sales guy, which is very obvious. But the reason why I picked B2B is because they were overlooked. मतलब उनको मदद चाहिए, but because it's not sexy, exciting work, agencies were not excited about taking it, and the काम जो बाहर आ रहा था एजेंसी से, that was not so good. So मुझे वो चीज़ एक्साइट कर रही थी कि यार इसमें पोटेंशियल इतना है पर कोई कुछ कर क्यों नहीं रहा है.
So आपके साथ कभी इंस्टेंस हुआ है जहाँ पर आपने किसी क्लाइंट से बात चल रही है और आपने उनका ब्रांड गाइडलाइन मांगा है और उन्होंने एक अपना लोगो, फॉन्ट, टाइपोग्राफी वो सब भेज दिया है, दिस इज आवर ब्रांड गाइडलाइन?
So I've had worse situations. बड़ा क्लाइंट है, लिस्टेड क्लाइंट है, and they are doing almost 1,000+ crores का revenue. and वो आया बोल रहा है कि यार मेरा लोगो अच्छा नहीं है, मतलब लोगो अच्छा है, अभी बनाया है पर वो विजिबल नहीं है. I asked him for a brand guideline. I said कुछ और है क्या? कलर्स दे दिए, उसके एक्सप्लेनेशन दे दिए. बोल रहा है मैं चेंज नहीं कर सकता लोगो. तो I said पर इसको करेक्ट तो करना पड़ेगा, मतलब दिख नहीं रहा है.
So how you shift that mindset?
B2B founders are a little bit reserved. They're risk averse. So they will not want to take that risk of completely changing something. So for me, I had to seed the thought for them. Saying कि okay, you don't want to change this completely. इसको improve करते हैं.
Right.
So that's exactly what I did with my client. I said वो battle मुझे नहीं करना है कि एक design change के लिए I'm not. My objective is strategy. My objective is to get them to a better place in terms of visibility and as a brand.
That will help them in long
Yeah, that will help
go.
them in terms of ground level
Ground level,
realities, right?
right.
Unka sales ROI is much better when you're helping
Right.
them with strategy. So for me, it was step by step telling them that okay, आपका logo आपको fully change नहीं करना है, that's fine. Let's just improve it. And improve किया, and then immediately वो visible हुआ, and then now they want to change other things.
Understood. जो आपके क्लाइंट्स हैं क्या उनको ये वैल्यू समझ में आती है ब्रांडिंग की?
The people who come to us, they come to us because they recognize there is a problem. It's not always that they understand कि brand का problem है. They might be like marketing नहीं हो रही है. They might be like अच्छा LinkedIn नहीं काम कर रहा है, website change करनी है. They will come to us with that kind of problem. जब when our team starts to question them, फिर light bulb moment happens कि हाँ actually ये problem भी है. Like we are not getting foot in the door because we don't look like a premium brand. We are not getting the prices that we want because there is a foreign brand which has come from France or which has come from Germany which is taking over from us.
So there is a term confident brand.
Confident
brand. Yeah. So आपके लिए उसका क्या मतलब है and why it is very crucial in B2B where trust is a prime factor?
I think it's important in B2C as well as B2B.
Okay.
But in B2B, because you're going through so many levels, you're used to sir झुका के, sir बोल के, getting the work done, right? But I think if you look at a person also, confidence comes from self-worth. It's the people who are in charge of the brand that are responsible for the brand. I mean, this is like parents. Anyone who's a parent, what tells you that person is a good parent is not that आपके बच्चे doctor हो गया है, MBA किया है. It's how he treats himself and how he treats other people.
Right.
Uski self-worth comes from that. The brand self-worth also comes from that. So how you treat your employees, what is the value that they get out of that, वो कितने confidently जाके अपने clients को बोलेंगे कि हाँ इनके साथ काम करो क्योंकि these people are good people to work with.
Right.
It's the same thing with the vendors. How well you treat your vendors as a brand, as a B2B brand. The same, they will talk well about you. And this is one of the things that we realized with one of the brands, B2B brands that we were working with. Unke vendors, unke investors and their employees all were interested in investing inside the brand. So we realized this when they said to us, हम लोगों ने interviews किए उनके साथ and they told us कि we want to invest in the brand पर हमें समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि वो लोग अंदर manage कैसे करते हैं. तो we want to know more about the brand and about their processes, about their expertise. We want to know more. So that's how it all came about.
I think आपने जब ये confident brand की अपनी बात चल रही है उसमें मुझे एक नाम instantly याद आ रहा है टाटा.
Tata. That was one of the examples I gave them of Tata.
So like ऐसे कौन से elements हैं जो एक brand को truly global और confident brand बनाते हैं?
Knowing the impact that you want to have in the world and knowing who you are. So they say that a brand will enhance, जैसे बोलते हैं पैसे के बारे में, money enhances who you already are. It does not change you. It's the same thing with brand. Brand enhances who you are as a company. It does not change you. So if your strengths are something that you're going with and your branding team is able to bring out your strengths and work with that, then that is where the major part of your confidence will come from. So you can stand tall and talk to your client, no matter whether you're a small brand or you're a big brand. The confidence doesn't come from, and there is a difference between confidence and arrogance. So I'm not saying be arrogant, I'm saying be confident with who you are.
Right.
So you can confidently say, हाँ मेरी ये capabilities है, मैं ये manage कर सकता हूँ, and मेरी team ये manage कर सकती है. That is the difference.
क्या ज़्यादातर B2B जो founders होते हैं वो अपने brand vision को लेकर clear होते हैं उनके mind में?
Some of them yes, लेकिन they are not able to articulate it.
Maybe ये clarity like over the time में आती है ऐसा कुछ?
Yeah, so I mean, startup founders may be थोड़ा सा इधर उधर because they're just starting out. लेकिन जो लोग at least 5 to 10 years business में होते हैं, they have done sales, they have a clarity about where they want to be. Sometimes they have this thing, but it is not articulated. मतलब उनके दिमाग में है, किसी और को पता नहीं है.
अच्छा.
That is also a problem. क्योंकि
क्या वो explain कर पाते किसी और को?
They will be able to explain it, but in a fewer words. लेकिन जैसे ही वो business बढ़ता जा रहा है ना, आपकी टीम बढ़ती जा रही है. मतलब अगर आप 10 लोगों से शुरुआत की है, अभी 100 लोग हो, 600 लोग हो, वो पूरी विजन 600 लोगों तक जाएगी कैसे? आप MD बैठ के 600 लोगों को he is not going to tell them, right? So that is the reason
why. So
why
you have to create certain process.
Correct. You have to create a process. You have to show the work that you have done. You have to build confidence with your employees. These are the values that we stand by. You have to do this, don't do this.
So what will be the right approach? Let's say अगर कोई brand है जिसके 50 employees है और all sudden उसको like growth मिली है किसी वजह से, maybe a kind of investment मिला है and they are becoming a 300 employee का brand. So what is the best approach to go about that?
To do branding?
Yes.
So I think the focus at that time should be on, because there is exponential growth, needs to be constant communication with your employees. So जैसे ही onboarding process, because you are hiring now.
Right.
So onboarding process में ही you have to go through those ups and downs of what you have been, where you are, and where you're going. And that has to be constant communication every week or every month. कुछ ना कुछ बाहर जाना चाहिए that reinforces what you have told them. Okay, so that's consistent communication, and as the thing grows, उसमें problems आएंगी. ऐसा नहीं है नहीं आएंगी. But at the end of the day, that problems will get minimized because you have done it the right way.
राइट सो ये तो हमने बड़े ब्रांड्स के बारे में बात कर ली. जो स्मॉल बिजनेसेस है वो ब्रांडिंग को लेकर सबसे बड़ी गलती क्या है?
That they don't think it's important. That's the biggest mistake that they're making. क्योंकि initially they're working on their sales and धंधा लेने के लिए they are going back and forth. But while they're doing that, they're not realizing उनके sales का बंदा जैसे बात कर रहा है क्लाइंट से, that becomes a part of their brand. That is dangerous. वो उस पर उनका कंट्रोल नहीं होता. The reason why Tata is doing so well, they have been again and again talked about in case studies, is because of the stories that they tell. Tata ki stories are documented well. Every day you do something for the client or for your vendor or for your employee that does not get documented. And when it does not get documented, आगे के जो employees आने वाले जो इन लोगों को replace करेंगे, उनके पास वो stories नहीं होंगी. And when you go back to any family unit, grandmothers ने जो stories बताई है about उनके परदादा, that is the same legacy that is getting carried on. That is the same value that is getting carried on for the earlier. So how will you have that marathon if you are giving up the
Right.
storytelling right in the middle?
सो मतलब स्मॉल बिजनेसेस को शुरू से ही एक स्टोरी टेलिंग का जो एनवायरनमेंट जो आपने बताया, सक्सेस को शेयर करना चाहिए आगे.
Yes.
That
So
should be the right.
a lot of times when you're building the brand, right? Take photographs, document the stories. नया ऑफिस खोला, उसमें कौन से एम्प्लॉइज थे, क्या क्या हुआ. And I'll give you a very good example. There is a client, another client who has a chemical company. One of their values, which we recently got articulated, one of their values was proactiveness. They have a flammable unit. So they have people inside their unit. Neighboring factory में there was a fire.
Okay.
ये लोग भाग के वहां गए to help them out, put out the fire and came back.
Okay.
This is a story to be told to the employees that are coming next.
Right.
क्योंकि
right.
ये this is a direct saying that okay, we were proactive, we were responsive, and we care about the people around us.
Right.
Community को we are taking care of them. This is a story to be told.
Right.
But किसी ने ये डॉक्यूमेंट किया ही नहीं था कभी. कौन लोग थे, क्या किया उन लोगों ने, कुछ नहीं.
So it adds a lot of value for the new joining.
New joinee, because if you have a story to tell, then वो दिमाग में रहता है, you know.
हाँ.
And then you're like, if you're doing something wrong, वो immediately वो story आएगी.
कहीं ना कहीं पे वो एनवायरनमेंट भी क्रिएट होता है.
Correct.
कल्चर बिल्ड होता है.
Yeah, so that's exactly what you're doing. जैसे culture build होगा, employees वैसे ही behave करेंगे जैसे culture है. People conform, right? So they will build the culture like that. Then they will go out and talk to clients. वही feeling आएगा clients को when they're talking. Whether sales team हो या कोई भी हो.
Nice, nice. So I like the way you connected a नानी का story with a आज जो LinkedIn 2025 में हम लोग यूज़ कर रहे हैं, तो वो ऑनलाइन ब्रांडिंग के लिए क्या ओवररेटेड है या वी शुड यूज़ दैट?
I don't think you have any other choices. Instagram is for the
Yes.
Gen Zs.
Yes.
But online branding के लिए LinkedIn is a very, very good platform. Even though it is AI से it has become a little crowded. And people are just randomly using AI. But अगर आप strategically use कर रहे हो, then your brand can actually build well, especially if you're a B2B brand. क्योंकि you're doing two things. एक तो you're creating content on your own pages and your leadership के जो रहता है, तो MD रहेगा, head of sales रहेगा, या जो भी prominent figures हैं of B2B, they should be creating something of their own personal. And LinkedIn is one of the best platforms I have seen for cold outreach. So if you are a founder or if you're a salesperson who is on LinkedIn and you want to look for vendors or you want to look for more clients, you can reach out to influential people through LinkedIn. And it works beautifully if you do it right.
Even I've used it for the vendors.
So we use it to get clients.
You do the reach out, like outbound reach out?
Outbound reach out.
LinkedIn पर inbound भी काफ़ी अच्छा work करता है.
Yes, so that's why I said you have to do both. You cannot do just one because it's not enough. People will come back and check you out. अगर आप एकदम fresh हो, पहले कभी सुना नहीं है आपके बारे में, then they will come back and they will check out your LinkedIn profile, they'll check out your website, they will check out reviews about you online कि लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं. And so this is all a part of the brand assets that you're building. Right. And this is the thing that people don't see. उनको marketing viral campaigns दिखते हैं, उनको ये जो पीछे का काम है जो बहुत boring काम रहता है, ये नहीं दिखता. There are a lot of these brands that are, you'll see viral marketing and all, बहुत exciting रहता है, shiny object syndrome, right? Right. But at the end of the day, the actual work that is done by all these other things that are there. So the client will come back check you out in various places. If you look genuine, then they will say, okay, I want to have a meeting with you.
राइट राइट सो लाइक हम लोग लिंक्डइन यूज करते हैं फॉर द मार्केटिंग. किसी अगर बिजनेस को अपनी ब्रांड बिल्डिंग करनी है, पहला तो लोगों को क्वेरी रहता है कि क्या कंटेंट शेयर करें, किस टाइप का कंटेंट शेयर करें और कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म के लिए ऑप्ट आउट करें, क्योंकि B2B और B2C में बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस आ जाता है. जैसे आपने बताया इंस्टाग्राम पर नहीं कर उतना शायद प्रॉफिटेबल नहीं होगा जितना हम लोग टाइम इन्वेस्ट करेंगे. तो ऐसे कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म है जो B2B बिजनेस के लिए सही रहेंगे फॉर द मार्केटिंग और ब्रांड बिल्डिंग, और साथ ही साथ में किस टाइप का कंटेंट उन लोगों को पुश करना चाहिए?
Okay, so I'll first address the types of platforms.
Yeah.
You have marketplaces on B2B also, where you can promote
Yes.
yourself. So that is one place. Industry related platforms are also there. So if you are in a particular industry, उसके खुद के भी platforms रहेंगे.
Right.
Those are also things. LinkedIn is one of them. I don't think people are using YouTube very well just now, B2B,
Yes.
but I think they should.
Yes.
So because it is evergreen content,
Yeah.
you can have a lot of videos there, you can have your processes there, you can have your ideas put up on YouTube. I think YouTube should be used.
Right.
It is still in its nascent stages for B2B.
Right.
अभी तक उतना push नहीं
Push
है
नहीं
उधर. But I think along with this, what is more important also is to do the traditional trade fairs, exhibitions. Each of these industries has an association. Association के साथ आप link होके you can actually have various types of marketing.
And what about X, like Twitter?
I have not seen B2B, unless you're a SaaS founder, I have not seen B2B manufacturing and other people use Twitter very well.
But do you think that will work well in terms of?
I think if you have a certain amount of scale, yeah. Also, you look at it this way, right? A lot of times you will look at a founder and if you feel that you connect with him or if you like him or what he says, and biggest I think person like that is Mahindra.
Yes.
Anand Mahindra, right?
Yes,
Everybody
he is very
loves
active.
him.
He is very active.
Everybody loves him, right? So a person like that coming on the platform, and also because he has the Mahindra group behind him, but also because people identify with his voice. He never says anything negative to anybody, and he manages his reputation very well on that platform. So you have to be very careful with online platforms because it stays forever. लोग screenshot लेंगे, AI कुछ भी
Document
करेगा.
होता है, everything
Document
will get
होता है.
documented.
But so if you're using X, I think it is a little bit of a more of an investment, time investment, resource investment. I don't see direct ROI from X, but yeah, you can connect with people from X as well.
Yeah, I think on the X platform you can directly connect with the top level.
Top levels, yeah.
B2B में अगर सेल्स स्ट्रांग होती है और मार्केटिंग अगर वीक है तो ये लॉन्ग टर्म में क्या प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है?
आप सेल्स बहुत कर लोगे पर there will be a lot of stress and tension just to get the prices you want, just to get foot in door, and there will be a lot of, अगर आपकी sales team strong है then it's good for you. Marketing will only give you that push that you need. जहाँ पर sales जा नहीं सकता वहाँ पर marketing जा सकता है. So one of my favorite brands for B2B is Caterpillar, and Caterpillar is a brand. Do you know about Caterpillar as a brand?
No, I haven't heard.
Okay, so Caterpillar is a brand that does mining machines.
Okay.
So they have these machines, which are drilling machines and stuff like that, mining machines, and that is what the brand is.
Right.
It originally started out as a tractor brand.
Okay.
Caterpillar over the years kept, they're pushing that thing of making, their mission of making things easy, empowering people who make digging and all that easy. So the first people who came up, one of their strategies was to help those guys who are actually doing the mining, the workers.
Okay.
And one of the things about the workers was that they didn't have good boots to wear, shoes and tools to use.
Right.
So they started with boots and they made very, very good, heavy
I think
boots.
I have heard the same.
Yeah.
I have heard.
So they are a B2B brand primarily. Okay. But they also did a little bit of B2C. And
Okay.
cat boots, it's called cat
Cat
on boots. So cat boots are very, very well known now. Matlab, even if you are not a miner, you will want to wear them. So they also have other merchandise now. So which protective gear, they will have t-shirts and other merchandise which they are promoting the brand. Did they need to do B2C? No. But they just went that route because they said, okay, we want those guys who are doing the actual jobs, the doers.
Yeah.
We want them to be empowered, and they are our biggest brand ambassadors. They are the influencers.
True.
They will be like, ये machine काम नहीं कर रहा अच्छा, आप Caterpillar लेके आओ. So I think their marketing and their branding strategy was brilliant because they went slowly.
Their employees itself become like a.
Not only the employees, the people who were working.
Yes.
They started to make like gear for them.
That's a good case study. So आपने कभी कोई ब्रांड का ऐसा अनकन्वेंशनल मार्केटिंग कैंपेन देखा है जो देख के आपको लगा कि ये बहुत स्मार्ट मूव था?
दो ऐसे brands actually. Unfortunately, I don't have one for B2B because B2B risk averse रहते हैं. But unconventional marketing I have seen for two retail brands. One was, and this I came to know because of the design community that we have.
Okay.
There is a hostel, which is called Hans Brinker Hostel.
Okay.
And if anyone wants to Google that, they can do that. The Hans Brinker Hostel was known to be the worst hotel in the world, because they would have very basic amenities or nothing at all. And what they did was they had a lot of complaints. There were a lot of complaints in the forums about the Hans Brinker Hostel. So they are a low budget commodity hostel. So how do they stand out? And what they did, then the agency, the design agency that was hired for them, they said that we are called the worst, let's just own it. So let's make ourselves famous as the worst hotel in the world.
Okay.
So they actually did promotion campaigns where they said, oh, rooms with a window.
Okay.
Rooms that actually have a door. Okay. They actually had like fake dog poo.
Yeah.
Kept on saying that with promotional material on top of that. And they did so much promotional material that people went mad and started to laugh because it was humor based, right? It was cheeky.
Yeah.
And it was basically saying that, okay, come and experience us. So they became an attraction. Can you imagine the brilliance of this campaign? Because what I saw was that ek to competition cannot compete with you, because they will not want to call themselves the worst. Also, the fact that you're owning something that people are saying bad about you.
True.
Right? You're owning it. Of course, they improved their quality, but at the same time, people came in to experience the worst.
Yes.
Right? And they attracted the right type of traveler, because they said, okay, budget hotel hai na. So obviously it is not going to have the
So
amenities.
indirectly they also communicated कि उन्होंने brand को किस market में position किया हुआ है.
Correct. So they very clearly mentioned it was a budget hotel.
Budget.
Like no frills. So you can say like Indigo is a no frills airline. It can say it, we are no
आपको
frills.
वो agency का नाम पता है?
Yeah, it's called Kessel Kramer. So they did that, and for the longest time they owned that, and they did extremely well. They had many more branches open up of the Hans Brinker Hotel, and it became a very, very famous campaign. The second one that I have as an unconventional campaign was this drink brand called Liquid Death.
Liquid Death.
Yeah. So Liquid Death is basically sparkling water brand.
Right.
Pani ka brand. So what they did was that the guy who started it was actually a graphic designer. He was with musicians all the time, and he realized that Monster karke there is a drink, right? There was the vans where they would be selling this Monster drink, and there was a gap. So he realized that, oh, we can actually have a brand that is related to music, that is related to hard metal or heavy metal music, and we can actually create that brand in various ways. So it is called Liquid Death. And their language, their tonality is all humor, and it's all negative.
Okay.
So their images are scary.
Okay.
But with that, people went mad about the drink itself. They do not serve alcohol, but the way that they market themselves is brilliant. And that gained traction only because of the way that it looks and it is. I mean, the drink itself, I don't think is that special.
So that's a B2C pure.
BTC, pure. Yeah.
So कब पता चलता है कि किसी ब्रांड को रीब्रांड करने की जरूरत है या पिवट कर देना चाहिए हो?
It's very clear when you want to rebrand, because आपकी brand अभी आपके लिए काम नहीं कर रही है. Either the brand has become too old, मतलब बहुत पुराने sales material है, artworks हैं. Also messaging proper नहीं है, या तो फिर गलत है. मतलब you have made a change. This is the overall evolution of the brand, and it's no longer, you're going into an international market. It's no longer serving your purpose. That is the time you need to rebrand. A rebrand does not mean पूरा का पूरा ही बदल देना. It could mean refreshing the brand in such a way that it now looks new and fresh.
Right.
Okay, everything changed is not required. It could be just a refresh and repositioning of the brand. A pivot is when you are wanting to specifically change over your product or service. If you were to look at a Nokia or a BlackBerry, right, or even a Kodak, if they wanted to shift to digital, or if they wanted to shift to something else, they could have done a product pivot. Which means that the core brand has not changed. Right. Your core stuff has not changed. What has changed is the way that you are now positioning yourself. What has changed is what you are now giving to the customer. Right. As. Also, another pivot could be when you're doing it in different countries. And the biggest example of this would be McDonald's. So McDonald's it's a fast food place. It's known for beef burgers.
Okay.
Right?
I didn't know
in
that.
the US, it is known for beef burgers. And when you go into McDonald's, if you ask for a regular burger, it's a beef burger. When it came to India, it couldn't say beef burgers anymore,
Right.
right? It had to have chicken burgers or it had to
Right.
have meat,
Right.
other meat burgers. And what McDonald's does not have in the US is a vegetarian section which is so vast
Right.
as it is in India. If you go to McDonald's in China, it's different. So that's a pivot. It's a pivot in the product range that you've got, also the marketing that you've got, and a little bit in terms of the branding that you've got. Products, services can be pivoted. You don't need to do a rebrand for them. You can just do it as an extension of the brand.
तो आपने कोई ऐसा वर्स्ट रीब्रांडिंग देखा है? आपको लगता है कि उन्होंने सबसे बड़ा मिस्टेक कर दिया अपने?
हाँ, दो पुराने वाले हैं, but there are two brands that I had seen. And one of them is a brand that I used. Tropicana was one.
Okay.
They did the full changeover of their packaging, of their logos, everything. The issue for them, the reason why it was the worst rebrand that they could have done is because they did not consider the consumer and they did not consider what was going to happen to their products and services after that. Products basically. तो शेल्फ पे उनका पैकेजिंग वाज इन अ पर्टिकुलर वे, कंज्यूमर सालों से वही देख रहा है, उसको आदत है वो पिकअप करने की ब्लाइंडली. ऑल ऑफ अ सडन पैकेजिंग पूरा चेंज हो गया है, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है ट्रॉपिकाना है कि नहीं. many million dollar losses, right? So Tropicana was one, which was a, I think, failed rebrand. And the second one was Gap, which everybody made fun of. Gap clothing, which is a clothing brand. It has got a lot of legacy behind it, and I think the problem that these people did was that they did not look at the legacy. They did not look at the people who were using Gap clothing. So consumer was not taken into consideration as much, and they just shifted over based on some philosophy that they had, and people hated it, and they had to go back
Right.
to their original brand.
Bira is also one of them.
Yeah, so Bira has done a shift over in terms of name change, and the biggest issue has been the name itself because everybody, I think it's supposed to be Bira 91. Everybody calls it just Bira.
Yes, I
Right?
don't know why the 91 is there.
Yeah, so if everybody just calls it Bira, and all of a sudden you change the name to B91 or B9,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden I cannot identify with the old one anymore, and therefore they lost out on. They had to change over again the packaging. These are all retail brands, and they're all changing over packaging, everything, and they had to recall the stocks of the old brand and put in the new stock of the new brands. बहुत issues हुए, and eventually people just stopped buying for some time. And the moment they did that, जितना उन्होंने traction लिया था in the market as a new brand, as Bira, all went to hell.
So ये हमने बात कर दी वर्स्ट रीब्रांडिंग की. So एक सक्सेसफुल रीब्रांडिंग के लिए अगर आप कोई एक एग्जांपल शेयर कर सकें, उन्होंने क्या किया?
So I'll speak about the Indian brand ka
Yeah.
example. This was done way back in 2017.
Okay.
They are also a client of ours. That's the reason why I was completely involved in the process. But Aditya Birla Capital, they got listed in 2017. So Aditya Birla Group, they're an offshoot as Aditya Birla Capital. And Aditya Birla Capital became brand with 13 other businesses underneath. Capital is basically a financial services business. So they've got everything from insurance to mutual funds to stocks and securities to
Right.
vast brokerage insurance, all of that. When they did a rebrand, they decided to give each one of the divisions a different color and different space. Reason being that they had so many different divisions, but they want to unite it under one umbrella. So it's too scattered.
Right.
हर एक का अलग अलग लोगो है, तो वी आर नॉट एबल टू कैपिटलाइज ऑन द ब्रांड.
Right.
तो आदित्य बिरला का जो ब्रांड है वो बिरला सन लाइफ हो गया, ये कुछ और हो गया. इट्स वेरी इनकंसिस्टेंट.
Right. Right.
So they wanted to put it all under one umbrella.
One umbrella.
And that's the reason why Aditya Birla Capital got rebranded. And uske niche then they made this as different units. And they gave the same branding with slight differences to all the other units. And the way that they rebranded, I think that worked out very well for them. Because not only did they brand well, uske baad, they also did marketing in such a way that the whole country was able to sort of identify with the new brand.
Right.
And it went seamlessly that they were able to, so I mean, hats off to the marketing department as well, that they were able to do both, like do a rebrand as well as then move on to do what they call bleed red, because red became like their color.
Yes.
So bleed red all over the country.
Nice. So ये हमने बात कर ली कि एक अच्छे सक्सेसफुल रीब्रांडिंग एंड वर्स्ट रीब्रांडिंग की. रीब्रांडिंग की हर ब्रांड को क्या ज़रूरत ही होती है एवरी टाइम, और जो ब्रांड जैसे चल रहा है उसको वैसे ही कंटिन्यू किया जा सकता है ओवर द टाइम में?
No, it's not a must to
सो
rebrand.
आप अगर कोई ऐसा कोई केस स्टडी बता सकें उनको.
You look at some of the biggest brands also, there have been times when they have stayed the same logo for a very, very long time. The same philosophy for the very, very long time. सालों से वही है, वही चल रहा है. थोड़ा सा modifications रहेगा, पर वो consumer को इतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता उससे.
राइट.
So it is not important for you to do a rebrand every single time just because you have the capability to do it. It is only important to do it if the end result that you're looking for is what requires a rebrand. So आगे जाके if the company is seeing that they are going into spaces which are more expanded, मतलब एक से शुरू किया, now they are doing a lot of other things,
Right.
then they might require a rebrand. If they're realizing कि ये वाला brand जो पुराना था, it's no longer working for us,
राइट.
then they might require a rebrand. But it's not necessary for someone to do a rebrand. You can take your existing material if it is working well for you and then use it.
सो अभी हम लोग मार्केटिंग टीम के बारे में बात कर रहे थे आदित्य बिरला का. तो आपके हिसाब से बेस्ट मार्केटिंग कैंपेन आपने अब तक कौन सा देखा था?
Oh, there are so many. I will tell you one that required a little bit of AI recently.
Okay.
It's not recent. It's a little bit.
That's fine.
थोड़ा सा जब AI का beginning चल रहा था ना, there is a company called Campbell Soup.
ओके.
They sell soup.
या.
And to make soup great again, they did user generated content ka YouTube ads. So you gave them a prompt of saying Campbell soup is my something, and then they would come back. The ad would come back with that thing for you. So if you search for something online and then you go to YouTube to see a video, you will probably see a matching of that through Campbell soup. I thought that was a brilliant ad campaign, honestly, and it must have required a lot of moving pieces. But when I saw that, and this was a case study that we had studied in our digital marketing space, I thought it was brilliant.
एनी अदर एग्जांपल्स यू वांट टू शेयर? ये जो पार्ट है ना मार्केटिंग कैंपेन, इट्स अ ह्यूज एंड इसमें लोगों को काफ़ी सारा लर्निंग का ऑप्शन मिलता है. सो आई थिंक यू कैन शेयर वन मोर.
The recent campaign with Ronaldo's girlfriend, that was there, that people talked about as a billboard campaign. Honestly, what they didn't realize, it was a brilliant marketing campaign. What they didn't realize is it was one-off. It was to promote a show that she was in. So there is a show called I'm Georgiana or I'm Georgia. And to promote that billboard was put up.
ओके.
Okay. And the best part about the campaign was the billboard was only one moving piece of that entire campaign. Everything else was TV appearances and virality of that based on user generated material again.
Right.
So if you took a picture of that billboard, you came back and they would make a bag with that. So they were giving out a product with that. So you see the amount of moving pieces in that campaign. That is what made that campaign great, not just the billboard. I think people forget that when they just see the billboard and say, "Wow, wow, billboard ka campaign kiya hai." Jaise billboard would be seen by let's say 100,000 people. Right. But when they talk about that online in TV shows or in videos and things like that, all of a sudden it reaches a wider audience, right? And that's how they got sold out, or rather in terms of bags also they got sold out, and in terms of the show went to #1 I think on Netflix.
Yes.
So the idea was to promote the show. I think that was a brilliant marketing campaign as well.
कंज्यूमर साइकोलॉजी ब्रांडिंग में कितना इंपॉर्टेंस रखता है?
I think without consumer psychology, you wouldn't be able to do branding. And it's not just consumer psychology, it's psychology in general.
Okay.
Whenever we look at branding at any angle, there are 5 different audiences that we look at. लोग बोलते हैं consumers के लिए, but actually there are 5 audiences. You have the consumer, which is your client.
Right.
You have vendors
Right.
who are supplying to you. You have your employees.
Right.
You have the media, and you have investors.
Right.
You're looking at 5 different types of target audiences. You're talking to them in different ways, and all of this affects your branding.
Right.
हर एक की psychology is अलग.
Different.
हर एक का benefit is अलग. The way that they are wanting to interact with you is अलग. So if you're missing out on any one of these, traction on those things will not be important.
So
right?
your communication will change.
So the way that you talk to an investor will be very different from the way you talk to a client. Different from the way you talk to media.
Right.
Different from the way you talk to your employee. Right? So all of those have to be covered, and each one has a different mindset that they come to you with for you to understand the psychology of each in particular target audience and then cater to them. That is a very important part of branding. If you miss out, then you miss out on an overall experience for the brand.
जितने भी स्टार्टअप्स होते हैं उनको इन्वेस्टर्स को ओवर द टाइम में जाके फंड्स के लिए पिच करना होता है. अगर आप मुझे एक डिफरेंस बता सकें थोड़ा और डिटेल में इसी क्वेश्चन को और ब्रीफ करके कि एज अ इन्वेस्टर और एक कंज्यूमर दोनों की जो साइकोलॉजी है उसमें क्या डिफरेंस आता है और कम्युनिकेशन में कैसा डिफरेंस आएगा?
There is one baseline that both have. उनको benefits चाहिए from the brand,
Right.
कुछ चाहिए,
Right.
and risk averse रहते हैं. Even an investor is risk averse.
Right.
So when you're talking to both of them, you have to see what triggers them. An investor, you have to look at why is he investing in you.
Right.
If it's a seed level investor, they are probably investing in you as a team or you as a person, as a founder. आपकी एनर्जी और आपकी टीम की एनर्जी देख के वो और आपके पैशन को देख के वो बोल रहे हैं कि हाँ ये काम करेगा. That's why
Right,
they are investing. So their risk level is a lot more.
Right.
So when you're pitching to them, the way that you interact with them is to show them how the thing works
Right.
and what is the possibility of a future vision. When can they exit?
Right.
At the end of the day, they want to make the money and they want to exit. So when can they exit? If you can showcase all of this to an investor, most likely he will give you the
Mostly on the benefit part and the as well as the future
Yeah.
of the business.
Yeah, future of the business and the impact the business is going to have on society as a whole, right? That is also important. Because if you don't look at that, if it's just धंधा, investors will be like, इसका future कहाँ है? ये कोई भी competition आके लेके जा सकता है, right? Impact. The consumer is basically looking for himself. He is like, मुझे इस product या service से क्या benefit मिलने वाला है? और मेरे लिए क्या है? This is first level thinking.
Right.
दूसरा level thinking is ये जो company है, is it aligned with my level of thinking? Sustainable है क्या? Packaging कैसे कर रहा है? कितना care ले रहा है अपने employees का? This is second level thinking. And third level thinking is that okay, इसका impact कहाँ पर जा रहा है? CSR कर रहा है क्या? You know, are they contributing to community? Things like that. अभी now in consumer psychology, people will not even look at the second and third, right? They will only look at the first.
Right.
But all these three things make an
इसमें
impact.
कहीं ना कहीं स्टेटस भी आ जाता है. Like अगर मैं ये प्रोडक्ट बाय कर रहा हूँ,
हाँ, so that is benefit to me, right? मुझे क्या मिल रहा है? The same with luxury brands, Rolex में मुझे benefit क्या मिल रहा है? मुझे status मिल रहा है.
Right.
मैं दिखा रहा हूँ इसीलिए मुझे कुछ मिल रहा है उसमें.
रिसेंट में अभी जैगवार ने भी अपना रीब्रांडिंग किया है. आपको क्या लगता है उसका रीजन क्या है?
I think the jury is out still. But honestly, personally, if you ask me, I did not like the rebrand of Jaguar. You know that there is a bathroom fittings that is called Jaguar,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
वो और ये लोगो बहुत similar लग रहा है मेरे को.
Okay.
And the thing about Jaguar was that it had a symbol of a Jaguar. And I think that is an iconic symbol of the brand.
Right.
So they should have in some form used that to create the new brand also. It is too far out and it is very, very different from what the original brand was. I don't know what the internal discussions must have been about that brand, but I have a feeling that it's not got the same power that it did have earlier.
Yeah.
It is too soft. Like I said, the jury is out. But
Basically, the communication is entirely changed.
yeah, so they say it reflects how the company is, but at the end of the day, we'll come to know once you see it on. Also, we have to look at it not in isolation. So when a rebrand happens, it's trying to solve some problem. Right now, is it solving a problem कि गाड़ी में that logo was not properly coming up, or there is a product का issue, or there is something else that or their vision was changed. So there you need to look at it not in isolation but as an overall thing. We'll come to know how the consumers take it at the end of the day.
So एक ब्रांड ओनर उसको सिर्फ उसी का प्रोडक्ट यूज करना चाहिए कि लाइक पब्लिक में जब जाता है, जैसे आप समझिए कि आनंद महिंद्रा टाटा की कार में घूम रहे हैं और वो न्यूज वायरल हो जाती है, क्या खुद के प्रोडक्ट को यूज करना एक सही है फॉर ब्रांड की ब्रांडिंग के हिसाब से?
I think it shows confidence in your own product if you use it. I'm not saying use only your product because there are a lot of other things that you should use. Experience makes your product better. So if you have experience with another product which is better, you can always improve your own. But I think it's important for the brand owner to actually have confidence in their own products. नहीं तो वो मत बेचो फिर. So if you're not using your own products or your own services, then I think you're losing out. Right? Because वो खुद का experience नहीं मिलेगा. And I think retail guys do this really well. They have mystery shoppers who will go into a retail store and they will buy from that just to see what the experience of the brand is. Right? When you're buying something. Luxury stores also have that. They will have mystery shopper come in and see how the staff treat. Right? So all of this I think becomes a part of the experience of the brand. So if a person is actually going in and using their own products, I think that's good. And just for that, I will let you know, my mother does this a lot. She's a jewelry designer. She'll wear her own stuff and show off. You can be your own best model. Na? So she'll do that. She'll have saris and things like that she wears of her own.
So आपका जो जर्नी रहा है उसमें सबसे ज़्यादा आपको इन्फ्लुएंस किस पर्सन से मिला है?
2 people. Beginning of my journey. My grandmother and my mom.
थोड़ा शेयर कर सकते
So grandmother, because there was nothing in the world that she would say, I can't do. नहीं मालूम है सीखते हैं. That was her attitude. I mean, she was 80 years old when I had computers at home with mouse and all that. My mother was not able to do it, but my grandmother sat and used the mouse at 80 years old. I remember her saying, "मुझे सिखाओ कैसे करना." And she was fast. She was quick to pick up. So I think that trait I get from my grandmother. I picked that up from her. She never say, "I don't know." Figure it out. I think similar traits into my mom. But my mom was more on the creative side. She is a self-taught artist. उनको मतलब she used to go wild with her creativity, and there was no restrictions. क्योंकि rules and regulations नहीं पता है.
Right.
Right. So she would create things and then be like, "Oh, I didn't know this was not allowed," to do. So all throughout my childhood, I have seen her make things with hands, work on projects, build out things for me. जैसे parents do बच्चे के projects. She would do my posters and things like that, and she would put things in there which would come out of the poster. मेरी teacher ने एक बार उनको बोला into the school, and she said, "ये आप कहाँ से खरीद के लेके आए हो?" And my mother had to tell her that no, ये हम लोगों ने बनाया है घर पे. It has not been bought anywhere. So from her, I learned that, as well as never to back down. So in life, you get a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes you get very lows, जहाँ पर life में it feels के क्या फायदा कुछ करने का.
Right.
And life will beat you down. But I have seen my mother get up again and again and again and again and again without even blinking an eye. इतना resilience I have not seen in anybody else. That is another thing that I learned from her. ये नहीं चल रहा है, कुछ और try करते हैं. ये नहीं चल रहा है, कुछ और try करते हैं. हाँ, मतलब you grieve for that thing.
Right.
Loss होता है तो you grieve for it, but don't just stick by it.
Try करते जाओ.
हाँ, try कर, कुछ और नया try करते हैं. ये नहीं हुआ ना, वो try करते हैं. वो नहीं हुआ ना, वो try करते हैं.
Right.
I'll share a story of my childhood. I have been a perfectionist since I was a child. तो मुझे perfectly lines में draw करना और painting करना पसंद था. And नहीं होता था तो I used to cry. थोड़ा सा भी बाहर गया line के, I used to cry. तो my mother would come in and she would say, क्या हुआ ना, उस पे white डाल दो, मतलब वो कर दो. So I started to get annoyed because I'm like, but मुझे दिख रहा है. She's like, पर लोगों को नहीं दिख रहा है. So it was a very interesting interaction from my mom because I used to call her patchwork mother because any problem I had, she would solve it. So that was another thing I learned from her, saying that it doesn't matter ना, आगे बढ़ो.
So आपको 2 learning मिला है. एक तो किसी भी चीज़ को ना मत बोलो, and अगर आपने वो काम ले लिया और नहीं हो रहा है तो आगे बढ़ो.
Yeah.
That's really nice. So apart from being a brand strategist, you are also a business owner. Maybe as a business में मुझे काफ़ी सारे लोग बोलते हैं कि पार्टनरशिप बिजनेस नहीं करना चाहिए, फैमिली में बिजनेस नहीं करना चाहिए, दोस्ती यारी में बिजनेस नहीं करना चाहिए. आपके हिसाब से ये कितना सही है?
It depends on the maturity of the person who's doing the business. It is very dangerous
Okay.
to have a family member in your business. क्योंकि जो आप बिजनेस में कर रहे हो कहीं पे भी अनबन हो गई, वो आप अगर घर पे लेके जाओगे तो झगड़े होंगे.
Right.
और अगर दोनों पार्टीज मैच्योर नहीं हैं और उनको मैनेज नहीं कर पा रहे हो, then they are going to have an issue at home. But having said that, I have always benefited from having people around me who have been family members. So when I started the agency 9 Point earlier, first it was my cousin who was the partner because she was a copywriter. My weakness was copywriting. She brought that expertise in.
Right.
Eventually she exited because she wanted to do other things, and when I got married, my husband came in as a
Business partner, yeah.
It was very clear understanding between me and him. हमारी नहीं बनेगी, we know, right? Because I'll have a different point of view, he will have a different point of view, but we will not go to bed angry and fight with each other. That was the understanding that we had in the beginning. तो हमारे झगड़े होते हैं, but then they get like within an hour's time they are sorted and we are back to whatever we are supposed to be. पर वहाँ पर एक को तो compromise करना पड़ता है.
तो like life partner के साथ में अगर business कर रहे हैं, तो उसके pros and cons में?
Cons is that you will take fights home.
Okay.
But fundamentally अगर आपका principle fundamentals clear है of how you want to interact in your business and as a brand what you want to talk about outside, if that is clear, then I don't think there is any issues with having your life partner as a business partner. Pros are actually quite a bit क्योंकि support मिलता है. आपको कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो रही हो, if there is business का issues हो रहे हैं, there is somebody to take care of things, there is always someone who is there to support you, who knows you in and out.
Right.
So someone who is there with you in the business, knows your business, knows you in and out, knows what the problems are. Another con I will tell you is that अगर business नीचे गया तो दोनों साथ में नीचे जाएंगे.
Right.
But also we'll pick each other up. right? So it has good and bad of both things. I think it depends on, like I said, the maturity of the two partners who are a part of business. Also, I've seen with friends, they said you should not do business with friends, but my major brand ambassadors have been my friends. What I have done with my friends is that I'm able to compartmentalize. मेरी personal relationship or business relationship do not mix. So I might have a disagreement with them on my business relationship, but I will personally never bring that into.
So there should be some line.
There is a very definite line that is drawn, but again it's a very difficult balance. Like you have to really balance it outward.
And both the partners should understand.
Yes.
कहीं ना कहीं पे किसी ना किसी को कभी ना कभी कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना भी पड़ सकता है.
Always there's
Yeah,
always
वो
some
करना ही
person
चाहिए.
who says अच्छा ठीक है आपके टाइप.
किसी का ऐसा हो सकता है टेम्पो हाई रहेगा उसमें किसी को down
Always.
राइट. सो अपने कजिन के साथ में जब बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया था तो शी वाज इनटू कॉपीराइटिंग, राइट? एंड तो आपने ब्रांडिंग और कॉपीराइटिंग को कैसे बैलेंस आउट किया?
It's a part of the same package. The reason why I had my cousin, she was not just a copywriter, she was also strategy person. So strategic thinking already tha. So understanding of how business works and how there is a growth is to be, and what the client is looking for, how to listen. All of these things are really important for someone who's doing that. So there was no tussle between us क्योंकि हमारा baseline same था कि at the end of the day we want to benefit the client, and to benefit the client we have to think of the brand as an overall piece. It cannot be copywriting, messaging अलग है, design अलग है, branding अलग है, ऐसा नहीं है. It's a part of the whole piece and content.
So as a business owner we try different things. So किसी चीज़ में हमको सक्सेस मिलती है, किसी चीज़ में फेल भी होते हैं. तो अगर आपको कभी फेलियर मिला है तो आप अपने आप को कैसे संभालते हैं, और मे बी आपकी टीम को?
So failures have been there. Two distinct ones I can remember. One was when a vendor ने मतलब पूरी तहस नहस करके पूरा they created a mess of things and I was answerable to the client.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day client is trusting me, और वो trust it's my duty to uphold. तो अगर vendor ने भी कुछ problem किया है then I have to be responsible for that. So that was most stressful time for me क्योंकि vendor दे नहीं रहा था, client चिल्ला रहा था. So I had to manage that relationship, and I had to spend money from my own pocket to make sure I got somebody else to do the same job, make sure that the client got what they wanted. I did lose the client because there was a very stressful relationship over there eventually. But at the end of the day, I was satisfied that I did not leave the client's hand till the time I had given.
You have delivered what you promised.
And the second time it happened when client themselves was very difficult.
Okay.
So rebrand client came to us, and there is a joke that they talk about. So they say that if you give us to do your design, we will charge you so much. But if you give it to us, but you do redesign, we'll charge you so much. If you get involved and you tell us what to do, then we'll charge you extra.
Right.
That kind of client, he wanted to get into every little bit of ye design change, ye idhar, ye udhar. The client also, it was not a good deal because they were not getting what they wanted, which is they wanted someone execution based only.
Right.
And for us also, it was not a good deal because they were not using our expertise well, and we were feeling like commodities. We had to break up with that client in a very sweet way. We had to tell him कि boss ये चल नहीं रहा है, आप please किसी और को ले लो.
अभी हम लोग बजटिंग को लेकर बात कर रहे थे. आपने जब शुरू किया था प्राइसिंग कैसे रखते थे, एंड ओवर द टाइम ने आपने क्या रियलाइज किया प्राइसिंग को लेकर अपनी सर्विसेज, एंड अगर आप अभी जो प्रोसेस फॉलो कर रहे हैं प्राइसिंग स्ट्रक्चर में, वो क्या डिफरेंट हो रहा है पहले और अभी में?
I'll go back a little bit because this is related to two things. It's not just about the pricing, it's about the mindset as well. Pricing is not an issue of what the other person can afford only. There's also an issue of the mindset of the person who's giving the price. So जब मैंने start किया था, I will give you an example. I used to charge 15,000 rupees for a logo.
Okay.
Today that is not the case.
Okay.
Today a logo might cost anywhere between like 3 to 5 lakhs, right? And the difference is a lot. Reason being, today what we're giving the client is not just the logo. We're also giving a lot of extensions of what the brand can become or is going to be. Earlier we used to only give the logo.
Right.
So that's where every designer, every agency, every service provider starts with that small one thing,
Right.
charges low. But to get to a 3 to 5 lakh or to get to 10 lakhs or whatever amount that you want to, the mindset has to change here and there. Right? The category of customer that you're looking for is very different at a 10,000 and at a 10 lakh. Category of customer at 10,000 will be someone who does not understand branding, who does not understand design, is someone who just wants a functional something.
Right.
मेरे cousin ने बनाया था इसलिए मैंने कर दिया. That is that
Right.
mindset.
Right.
The mindset of the person who is valuing your work at 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs or 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs is someone who has seen the world, who knows that okay बाहर जाके मुझे इसमें value क्या मिलेगी उसको पता है. This mindset person cannot become this unless they go through that entire journey.
जो हायर अमाउंट वाला है वो पहले से 10 वाले पे जाके आ चुका है एंड नाउ ही इज नॉट सेटिस्फाइड विद.
Absolutely right. So that is one part. That is the part of the client.
Right.
Now let me come back to the service provider.
Yeah.
Service provider cannot jump from 15,000 to 5 lakhs unless his mind tells him it's okay to charge 5 lakhs. So it was a practice exercise for me, and I had to do this with a coach initially, and then I had to do this myself, because from 15 lakhs I didn't directly jump to 5. From 15 lakhs I said okay, it is going to be 50,000. Then I said okay, and I tried this with a new client every single time.
15,000 to
50,000. 50,000, right? And then I had to go to 1 lakh, then I had to go to 1.5, then I had to go to 1.
Yeah.
Like, to 2, 3, like
Right.
that. And I had to become comfortable, and I did this in front of a mirror to say the words 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 7 lakhs, jo bhi ho.
Yeah.
Because in my mind I was like, am I able to give that value, right? That means I had to upgrade my skill and my team's skill and my level to that level that I'm able to give something worth that is 5 lakh 7
Right.
lakh जो भी हो. So it is a two-way process. It is not just मैंने price increase किया और आ गए लोग. It's not like that. It's a work in progress. So tomorrow I could say 1 crore, but I have to be comfortable inside my body saying 1 crore का project है.
राइट. सो आपको लाइक माइंडसेट एंड मोटिवेशन वाइज सबसे ज़्यादा इंस्पिरेशन कहाँ से मिलती
Initially, there was a YouTube channel that I had started to watch, and eventually I did a workshop with them and finally a course with them, and he became one of my mentors.
है? व्हाट्स द नेम?
It's called The Future.
द फ्यूचर.
Yeah, there's a person called Chris Du. He's the one who started that level of thinking, saying, okay, I need to change something.
I think
not happy.
that person helps you with the client calling.
Yeah, so sales
I've
calls
seen
and
that. Yeah,
sales
sales.
material and things like that, and this was the mindset changing bit came from him, saying that okay, how do I get more comfortable saying the stuff that I want to say. When we had sessions with him, that is the time that he had started to explain. This happened way back in 2014. So since then I had been watching him, and then I eventually bought the course, bought the workshop certification program, where I had to go in and interact with him.
Right.
I think that was an experience that really needed for my sales level
Right.
as well, for the confidence that I would have
Right.
when I'm selling. Both ways, I mean, it's a learning experience, but with every new client you try a new price.
Right. that should be the approach.
Yeah, that should be the approach.
So you should always try to increase your pricing over the time and keep experimenting and see which one works.
Yeah, and it has to be comfortable for you, because
Yeah.
human brain is so nuanced that it can pick up when you are scared.
Yeah.
Right? So if I am a seasoned owner or a marketing professional or whoever, if you are selling to me, if I'm seasoned,
Yeah.
I'm able to pick up when you're scared of telling me the price.
राइट. सो इसका एक मार्केटिंग और इवन सेल्स में अगर आपको कॉन्फिडेंट होना है ना, तो एक सबसे बड़ा टिप मैंने ये सुना है, आपको बनने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. अगर आपको कॉन्फिडेंट बनना है ना, आप कॉन्फिडेंट तब दिखते हो जब आपकी जो बैकएंड के लिए जो टीम जो है ना, वो अगर उतनी स्ट्रांग है, तो आप किसी को भी जाके कोई भी वैल्यू पे प्राइस पिच कर सकते हो, क्योंकि आपका कॉन्फिडेंस इतना होता है उस टाइम पे, यू नो यू कैन डू दैट.
Yeah, so that is a given for me, saying कि अपनी team has to be strong enough to do that. But I have done this scared also. जहाँ पर you don't know, sometimes there is a challenging new project which has come.
Right.
And you don't know whether you can do the same justice that you would be able to do with a regular product that you regular service that you have. But उतना confidence है कि manage कर ले. तो उस time पे that the confidence that you need to build is something that you need to practice for every single time. So then eventually then the entire thing becomes a part of who you are.
राइट. जितने भी यंग क्रिएटर्स होते हैं जो ब्रांड बिल्ड करना स्टार्ट करते हैं और वो ब्रांडिंग को लेकर जल्दी गिव अप कर देते हैं, इवन बिजनेस को लेकर गिव अप कर देते हैं, उनके लिए आप क्या कहेंगे?
That they didn't try hard enough. क्योंकि it is a, like I said, branding और या तो business हो, it is a value creation process. आप business start करते हो क्योंकि आपको पैसा बनाना है, but at the end of the day, if you can't create value, वो business का कोई मतलब नहीं. And the value is being created in multiple levels. तो आप society के लिए कर रहे हो, आप खुद के लिए value create कर रहे हो, client के लिए value create कर रहे हो, employees के लिए कर रहे हो. तो it is impacting a lot of lives. Right? So if tomorrow मुझे कुछ भी हो जाए and I'm not able to create that value for my employees, I'll have to shut down the business. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they give up too early. Because जैसे ही पहला dip आएगा, निकल जाती है।
तो अभी एक अपना जो स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम का ये जो चल रहा है कि सबको स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट करना है, बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना है, एंड कुछ टाइम के बाद में न्यूज़ आता है कि वो बंद कर दिया।
Also, I think it's because of bloated evaluations. जैसे AI है, for example, you don't know where it's going.
Right.
But you have started a startup based on some
You
small
pick,
thing,
yeah.
and then it has gone bust because investor को भी समझ में नहीं आया है AI
Right,
कहाँ
right.
जा रहा है, तुमको भी समझ में नहीं आया है, तुम्हारी team is not that strong. The base level is only not strong enough.
लाइक इवन लोगों के पास ये थिंकिंग नहीं है कि मेरे फ्रेंड ने स्टार्ट किया तो मैंने भी जॉब छोड़ दिया, मैं भी सिमिलर लाइन ऑफ बिजनेस में चला गया। आई डोंट इवन नो कि उस पर्सन के कॉन्टेक्ट्स कितने हैं, वो बजट लेके बैठा है नहीं है, उसके पास इन्वेस्टर है कि नहीं है। आई जस्ट गेट इनटू बिजनेस एंड ट्राई कर रहा हूँ, कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, मेरा भी बिजनेस ग्रो हो जाएगा। वो माइंडसेट शायद वर्क नहीं करता है लॉन्ग टर्म में।
No, so it's very hard to do business. It's very, very hard because अपना ego you have to keep aside. You're growing up very fast and you have no one to really mentor you. You are lucky if you find someone who can take you through, हाथ लेके पकड़ के बोले अभी ऐसा करो, अभी कोई नहीं रहता है. You can have a group of people, but there is no one. It's very, very hard to do business. So people who are starting and thinking that हाँ मैं आज business करूँगा, definitely they should try. But if they are risk averse, as there are some people, then वो बैकिंग नहीं होगा ना किसी चीज का कि पैसा कल मुझे नहीं पता मैं रेंट कैसे दूंगा। Those people should not be starting business. They should have their job and then do a side business and
Maybe
then grow
freelancing
that.
से start कर।
हाँ, freelancing से start करो। The easiest businesses to start would be a service related thing where you require only a computer, you require certain skills,
Right.
and that's about it. I've also seen people who will start a business and think that office लिया rent पे, computers लिए, टीम डाली और फिर उसके बाद पैसा खत्म। उनको लगता है कि बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना मतलब ऑफिस लेना और लोगों को बिठाना।
सो एक्चुअली आपको बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने के पहले आपको फाइनेंस भी समझना उतना ही जरूरी है,
Yes.
मार्केटिंग समझना जरूरी है।
You have to be strong in something, right? You have to be strong in selling, or you have to be hustling enough to want to learn it. You have to be strong in marketing, or you have to be strong in the product itself, and then find a co-founder or somebody who can do the other job. Because without you being able to sell, it's not possible for you to have the business.
Right.
Sales is critical, but product is also critical. Like you said, back-end team has to be strong, then sales will be strong, right?
Right,
It's exactly that. If your product is not strong, your sales cannot be.
When you were child, उसको अगर आपको एक एडवाइस देने का मौका मिले तो आप क्या देंगे?
I think my financial advice though. And I think people have started to realize this sooner, right? That now there are actually some financial education stuff for children, but I don't think we learned how to manage money, and it was again not something that was spoken about in households.
Right.
I was telling someone recently that I wish I had the knowledge that I have today, but in my 20-year-old body. Because at the end of the day, the knowledge that I have today is what has come from learning धक्के जो मिले मुझे उसके वजह से I've gone forward, right? I've learned through the struggles that I've had. And those are the aspects of my life I wish I had known earlier. Or there was someone who had told me कि learn how to do finances well, whether it's personal or business.
Right.
I think I would have been stronger as a business or as a personality if I had learned that better. That was, I think, my weakest part.
But that's a good advice for like young generation जो अभी स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, मे बी स्कूलिंग, कॉलेज, जिनको एक छोटा मनी मिलता है पेरेंट्स से, उनको इंस्टेड ऑफ खर्चा करना है, दे शुड स्टार्ट लर्निंग अबाउट द इन्वेस्टिंग।
Money is very related to self-worth. And लोगों को लगता है शोषा करना is a part of feeling that richness. But issue is that now, today, there are too many products that have come out that will give you money on hand without you actually having to earn it.
Right.
So, आप loans ले रहे हो, credit cards पे loan ले रहे हो. And that is basically at the end of the day debt, no? And you have to pay it back.
Nowadays, you have an app, within 2 minutes you will
You're getting some 5 lakhs ka loan and you're buying an iPhone. And
Right.
in my mind, I was thinking that life was so much simpler when I was younger. I never thought about luxury items when I was a child. I never thought about मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए. Today, if you see a 14-year-old and when I was 14 years old, there's a lot of difference. But I feel that even today's generation has the capability of keeping their finances in check and not relating it to their self-worth. So it shouldn't be that मैंने ये पहना है इसलिए I am somebody. You're nobody.
So branding का एक ऐसा मिथ बताइए जो लोग उसको बिलीव करना बंद कर दें आज के टाइम में।
The biggest one I have seen is B2B में branding की ज़रूरत नहीं है.
Okay.
So this has come up, this has become better today. वो बोलते हैं हाँ पर B2B में क्या ज़रूरत है branding की? It is very difficult to talk to such a person जिसका mind already closed है. That means उसने वो world नहीं देखा है जहाँ से आपको you can get traction because of your brand.
Right.
So I wish people would stop believing that B2B में branding की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Another one is that okay, your brand is your logo. हाँ branding किया है, क्या है आपके पास logo. Those are the two things I wish people would stop talking about and understand that a brand is much more than just that.
एक स्टार्टअप फाउंडर ब्रांडिंग के लिए सबसे पहले 3 टिप्स क्या फॉलो करना चाहिए?
I think the simplest thing for a startup founder, and I'm assuming the startup founder does not have a lot of funding. Number one would be to document and share their story when they're building the brand.
Yeah.
Because they're starting with zero. As they're documenting that story when they're building the brand, what will get viral for the generation that's coming up. You want to support the underdog.
Yes, you are creating a foundation.
Yeah. Also, as an audience, you link with the someone struggling. Right. So struggles come out and therefore share their story. Document and share your story openly. Second is get your hands dirty. Get down to the customer level and continuously reiterate and do things that the customer is looking for. Feedback को मतलब इतना closely monitor करो कि that the customer is like ये मेरे लिए ही बना रहा है. जो भी बना रहा है मेरे लिए बना रहा है. Those are 2 things I feel that they should do. And the last one is consistency. Consistently keep sharing content about your product, improvements, process, people, all of that.
So अगर कोई ब्रांडिंग और मार्केटिंग के अंदर कोई पर्सन करियर बनाना चाहता है, मे बी एक स्टूडेंट, तो उसको कौन सी बातों को ध्यान में रखना चाहिए?
I will show you this with an example. It was very funny when my teacher said this. But I think they should be using their 5 senses for, or the 4 senses at least for it. So I think the biggest thing for a student is observation, learning how to see. If you can't see, and I don't mean just looking, I mean observing, right? So you observe how the brand made that particular brand, what was the thinking behind it, where did it come from, why did they do certain things. So that's seeing.
Right.
Reading between the lines. Billboard देखा खुश हो गए वापस आ गए. Not that. Do deep dives. That's seeing. The second one would be listening. That means you see the conversations around the brand. कि क्या बातें हो रही है. The last one would be to raise their hands every single time there is a project coming their way. Right. So if they see something that's happening and they want to do something about that, they should raise their hands and say, I want to do it.
Right. So आपके हिसाब से स्टूडेंट के लिए इंटर्नशिप कितनी ज़रूरी है? क्योंकि आपने अपना जब करियर स्टार्ट किया था, यू स्टार्टेड विद इंटर्नशिप इनटू ग्राफिक डिज़ाइनिंग, और वो इंटर्नशिप को अगर सक्सेसफुल बनाना है तो किन बातों पर एज अ इंटर्न को फोकस करना चाहिए?
I'll answer your first question. Internship, how important it is, I think it is the most critical thing that you can do for your career. And I would say don't do just one internship, do multiple in different fields. Because I did that. I did one internship in graphic design, one in print, one in video production, one in magazines and something else. So I did a lot of internships and a lot of jobs before I realized what I wanted to do.
Right.
Because you will not like everything.
Right.
And you can't do everything.
Right.
You can be jack of all trades, master of one. Learning that these things were available, but I picked this one thing to deep dive into.
Yes.
I think that is important for a student or for an intern to learn. And like I had mentioned earlier, raise your hand when a difficult project comes because you'll learn a lot from it.
Right. एंड इंटर्नशिप में जो एज होता है वो भी वैसे ही होता है कि आपको लर्निंग करना है. योर फैमिली इज नॉट डिपेंडेंट ऑन यू एट दैट टाइम, तो आप अपने आप को जितना एक्सप्लोर कर सको.
Yeah. Some of the interns don't get paid. Some of the interns get a stipend, which is good. The companies that are giving the intern a stipend is always good. But at the end of the day, you are there for learning a project. So don't ask more questions. Be more curious.
Right.
Than saying मुझे आता है.
Right.
AI will do a lot of things, but AI will not teach you experience.
Right.
So experience is something you have to experience, and those people who have been there before you, they have a lot of more stories, they have a lot more experience, they have a lot more practical work that they have done in that field.
Right.
So if they're telling you something, it might be for a reason, so ask them why. Right. I think that my favorite question to ask is, but why?
Yes.
I think that is very important.
मैगी के स्ट्रेटेजी के बारे में आप क्या सोचते हो?
So I have to tell you that I like Maggi.
Everyone loves Maggi except moms.
But I mean, it's considered unhealthy, but I like it. It is, I think, become comfort food, right? And Maggi has put in I think almost 50 plus years into making it into comfort food.
Right.
So Maggi started when we were children, right?
Yeah.
Or much before that. I think for Maggi, they have had different marketing campaigns at different stages. But there were two places that Maggi really stood out for me. One was when they had a problem
Right.
and they got banned by the FDA.
Right.
When they got banned by the FDA, it's a case study to how to get your reputation back
Right.
when you get banned by the authority. that is allowing you inside a country.
Right.
So they used two methods. One is that they actually got data and they got FDA approvals again.
Right.
They did all the documentation right. Second thing that they did was they kept the consumers in loop all the time. They were having constant conversation. They did not shy away saying नहीं हम लोगों ने नहीं किया और चुप नहीं रहे. They stayed in constant communication saying हाँ अगर कुछ problem है हम लोग solve कर रहे हैं. Right. The third thing that they did was they actually got a campaign saying we miss you too. There is a marketing campaign by Maggi saying we miss you too.
Right.
Because
Right.
The consumers at some stage were saying ki like it's comfort food for us. We miss it. They heard that. Like I said, listening to what
Right.
the
Right.
conversations were happening, they did that and they actually came back with saying we miss you too.
Yes. Then there was again a new campaign with a Mary
Maggi. Yeah. So that was another one, and that was user generated material,
Right,
right?
right.
So users were telling them how they make the Maggi for themselves, and then they were taking the same thing and using it in their
Brilliant
campaigns.
campaign. So I have one more question. Whenever we see any red and yellow color on highway or in any part of state, we understand this is a Maggi, right? ये जो red और yellow color है, is that is planned और या इसके पीछे कोई strategy या just a concept?
So McDonald's has a full-fledged strategy on why that red and yellow was there. It is intentionally that kind of branding. Red is a very, very visible color, so is yellow. So originally when the McD started, I think it was yellow, those yellow arches, which has actually got a name saying golden arches.
Yeah.
They're called the golden arches. McD's was smart enough to, because they were on highways and they were fast food, they were smart enough to make it visible enough that make it really high,
Yeah.
so that people can see it from anywhere. Two visible colors that you will see from any part of anywhere
Right.
is red and yellow. So it was a very strategic decision for them to use those particular colors. And also they are related to food. They look like mustard and ketchup, by
Yes.
the way.
Yes.
So
yes.
they're related to food. So I think it was brilliant the way the whole thing
Ultimately
sort of
that
came.
connects with the product
Product
and the
as well.
brand vision.
Yes.
So there is a one more brand Fevicol. उनके जो campaigns वो release कर रहे हैं, आप उसके बारे में कुछ कहेंगे?
So Fevicol ka again, it's a B2B product.
Yes.
It's primarily a B2B product. Carpenters use करते हैं and all that. It's very few people who are really wanting to use it as a B2C product. But I think it got that virality only because it did the both B2C and B2B. But Fevicol is interesting for me only because it has just one product. It is actually just an adhesive. That's it.
Right.
The baseline is that we stick things together.
Right.
And वो लेके इतने सारे variations of that has been done in marketing and their campaigns. I think that is brilliant for them. So that stickiness, Fevicol ka jod, you know. And everybody remembers those ads. Those people who feel that they need multiple products to make the brand work, that's not true. You can do it with one.
Right.
The power of one.
क्या आज भी billboards work करते हैं?
Yeah, I think they do. Uska, I think reach is a little lesser. But like I mentioned with Ronaldo's girlfriends, the Georgiana's billboard, you need to do something different with it to be able to then you reuse that material. I think brands need to realize कि एक medium को लेके ही सिर्फ don't use just that. You use that to make more content for yourself, right? So a billboard is a static medium that you can have, but how to reuse that in multiple other ways is what the agency actually came up with. This is something that AI would not have been able to do for them as of this point in time. This was strategy that was thought through by the agency that said, okay, we can do it like this, reuse this particular material which has lesser reach and make it more reachable. So make it more visible to more hands, right? They wouldn't have expected it to go viral, but it did. So they gave it एक चीज नहीं, it's multiple. Reusing that. Just putting up a billboard or just putting up a social media post is not enough. You need to market that as
You
well.
have to plan all the channels that
All the
are
channels.
going to boost the investment that you are putting for that.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you're spending a certain amount of money. Can you make the most out of that money?
Right.
Get the best bang for your buck.
Right.
You know?
So like for the freelancers जो कम पैसा कमा रहे हैं and overwork कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि आज के टाइम पर फ्रीलांसिंग एक नया स्ट्रीम आ गया है एंड काफ़ी सारे फ्रीलांसर्स हैं जो प्राइसिंग को कम कर देते हैं एंड देन उनको लगता है कि नहीं बहुत सारा काम करना पड़ रहा है, उनके लिए आप कोई गोल्डन एडवाइस देंगे?
If they are newbies, it's okay if they are charging less. But I think they need to limit that. जैसे अगर आप पहली बार वीडियो एडिटिंग कर रहे हो तो आप 10 प्रोजेक्ट्स में चार्ज लेस, तो उसके बाद देन इट हैज टू ग्रो, क्योंकि 10 प्रोजेक्ट्स के बाद आपको एक्सपीरियंस आ गया, यू नो लॉन्गर अ न्यूबी. अगेन आई सेड इट्स अ माइंडसेट चेंज, राइट? नाउ आई एम नो लॉन्गर अ न्यूबी, नाउ आई एम a junior level editor, and as you grow in that you need to add more and more and therefore become better at what you do. The more number of hours that you've spent doing something, the better you are, the faster you are at it. तो आज अगर आप वीडियो एडिटिंग को 10 घंटे लग रहे हैं आपको, तो वही चीज़ आप 1 घंटे में कर सकते हो after a certain amount of time. That means you can take on more projects. Right? That is number one. The second part is creating packaged services that limit the amount of work that you have to do. So if you create a package, for that you have to understand क्या requirements है. But let's say you create a package saying इतने minute का video है, for example. So creating packaged services, that is another thing freelancers can do, so that they are able to then limit the amount of edits that are there, limit the amount of revisions that are there, and give packages to clients.
Right. अभी जो एक नया दौर चल रहा है AI का, so मैंने देखा है कि काफ़ी सारे ब्रांड कंसल्टेंट हैं जो AI के साथ में compete किया जा रहा है, उनको कंपेयर किया जा रहा है कि like with AI we can have a vision statement, we can have a mission statement, we can create the entire brand guideline using just ChatGPT पर एक prompt. So आपको क्या लगता है कि ऐसा क्या चीज़ है जो एक ब्रांड स्ट्रेटेजिस्ट और ChatGPT को एक अलग कर देता है?
Garbage in, garbage out. So you have AI, it requires prompts. What you feed it, it will give you output based on that.
Right.
And the internet. Branding is not about what you're feeding in to an AI. Branding is about understanding the business, the people, entire ecosystem that you have built. Right? Abhi AI cannot do that right now.
Right.
But when we are doing branding work, when we are doing strategy work, we are actually interviewing the founders or the MDs or the chairman, the board of directors. We're talking to the people, sales guys. We're talking to the manufacturing, the operations people. We're talking to people who have been the oldest in the company, newest in the company. So we are talking to all of these people, and understand people will say one thing, but their body language tells you a lot more. Right. So when I'm talking to you, you will look at me and you will realize whether what I'm saying is 100% true, or there is a little bit of idhar-udhar in that. So an AI cannot catch at this point in time.
Right.
Even if it catches it, how will it know what it means?
Right.
And then ask an alternative question. So at this point in time, today, AI cannot replace a consultant, a brand consultant.
Right.
It can enhance their work.
Yes, it can help the brand consultant, but not to a business owners.
It can even help a business owner. The reason why you're going to the consultant is because you don't know yourself.
Right.
And you don't know how to put it all together.
Right.
A vision statement doesn't put it all together for you.
Right.
What a vision statement does, it tells you where you want to go. Right. But a brand consultant will take you through the entire process and put you through saying, okay, यहाँ से आपको यहाँ पहुँचना है. This is the roadmap plan.
Right.
This is how you should be going across. कुछ भी बीच में आ गया, that person is able to show you how to navigate that.
Right.
AI can only do what you tell it to do.
Right. And even AI cannot keep a track of entire activities that is happening within the business.
Correct.
And उस पर feedback देना and all those stuff.
Yeah. So the experience that a brand consultant will have, and I'll give you this with an example. So a lot of times businesses do things naturally. You run a business, you will cater to your clients in a natural way that benefits the client.
Right.
But you never document it.
Right.
You don't know that you're doing that. Client gets the benefit, feels good, comes back to you again for the next order. Right? But you are already doing certain things in service, which you're not talking about. Because for you, you're taking it for granted.
Right.
But for the client, there is value in it. Right? And that's the reason why they're choosing you over your competitor. Right? All of this, how will AI know unless you feed that in?
और कहीं ना कहीं पर AI ना आपके प्रॉम्प्ट को लेकर ही रिस्पॉन्स देता है. जैसे अगर आप बोलेंगे कि मेरा फेवरेट कलर रेड कलर है, तो आपको 10 रीजन बता देगा कि आपके लोगों का कलर रेड ही क्यों होना चाहिए, दूसरा क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए.
Correct. So I mean, you're looking for a point of view that is not your own, and you're looking for expanding your mindset and your business, right? And a lot of times business owners themselves are quite limited in their thinking. So it is very difficult for AI to replace a human who has had that experience in consulting and in strategy and brand building.
Right. So now we will have some rapid fire questions. So आपका सबसे biggest brand crush कौन है and क्यों है?
I think I've already spoken about this. I think Caterpillar would be my biggest, only because they are a B2B brand and they have a sense of humor about the way that they work with their people in the brand. So,
एक ऐसी बुक जो ब्रांडिंग है और आपके पर्सपेक्टिव को लेकर कम्प्लीटली चेंज कर सकती है, ऐसी कौन सी बुक?
branding के लिए I would ask people to look at Marty Neumayer's book. Brand Gap है. For freelancers, I would ask them to check out Win Without Pitching. But if you really want to improve yourself, as in self,
Yeah.
I think I would look at Atomic Habits. That's one of my favorite books because it changes the way that you think
Yeah.
about a lot of things.
वर्स्ट ब्रांडिंग एडवाइस जो आपने सुनी है?
It's not worth advice, but it was a request from a client.
Okay.
वास्तु के हिसाब से मुझे लोगो बना के दे दो. And I said मैं वास्तु पर्सन नहीं हूँ. पर so
Did you hired a
they
Vastu person?
they actually got a Vastu person and they gave me the dimensions. They gave me एक इतना सा visiting card, उसको ऐसे क्रॉस किया, ऐसे क्रॉस किया, ऐसे क्रॉस किया, बोला जहाँ पर क्रॉस लाइंस है वहाँ पर कुछ टच नहीं होना चाहिए. And I'm like इतना सा visiting card है, you know, whatever. So
Yeah.
I think people are a little superstitious, especially in India, about the business and their brands. I understand that. I understand where it's coming from, but इतना भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि that it, you know.
Yes. वो आपके एक्चुअली माइंड में नहीं होना चाहिए.
हाँ.
अगर आपके माइंड में है तो वो चीज़ शायद वैसी होगी
Yeah.
क्योंकि आप वो बना के ही चल रहे हो उसमें लगे.
हाँ, तो I mean it becomes very difficult to be creative when you're so risk averse and you're in that situation because you're so risk averse, right?
Yeah.
You're like कुछ गलत नहीं होना चाहिए, पर गलत होता ही है.
होता ही
मतलब
है.
वो
That's
लाइफ
the
और
life.
बिजनेस
That's the
का it's a part of life and business, right? इतना भी डरना नहीं चाहिए.
Thank you very much, Mansi,
Thank
for
you.
joining me for this long conversation.
Thank you,
very much.
Govind. This was fun. From the start to finish, for me, the Thrive podcast has been quite a novel experience. This is the first time I've done an in-person podcast. The Thrive team has been amazing. Thanks to Varsha, who actually had like a almost 2-hour conversation with me to get insights about what we should be speaking about. Thanks to Govind. He helped me warm up. It shows his experience in video and this particular exercise to get guests to feel comfortable. So this overall has been an amazing experience and I think other people should also experience that.
That's it for today's conversation with Mansi Rastogi. Lot of insights on how creative thinking can shapes B2B brands. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel for more conversations like this. See you in the next one. Till then, keep learning, keep watching. Thank you very much.